Baby, what you telling me? See me, I'm with the gang, lazima hustle.
Wagwan, beautiful people. Welcome to another episode of Just to Kick It is a Blessing podcast with your host, Keith Tupa Gatiramu. Today's episode is called Stop Letting Other People's Opinions Control Your Life. When I first thought of this episode, I named it Don't Care About Other People's Opinions. But upon sitting down and reflecting upon it, I realized that we are human by nature, and therefore we will always care about what people have to say or think about us, whether it's our friends, whether it's our families, whether it's complete strangers. We will always care about what people have to say or think about us. Today is a very, very special episode. We have a special guest. Some call him Kwami Kwams. Some people call him Kwami Re. Some people call him Mr. Seduce and Seduct, but I will allow him to introduce himself.
Hello, everybody. My name is Kwami, aka Mr. Setutsi, aka Mr. CEO. And yeah, thank you for having me, Tupac.
Okay, Kwami. So last episode, I think 2 weeks ago, I spoke about you. And the episode spoke about self-love, and to be honest, you are one of the people that I know that loves themselves the most. And I shared that on the previous episode. But I'd like to know from you, have you always loved yourself that much? Or it's something that you have grown to develop?
Well, that's a good question. When I was a bit younger, so like when I was in maybe year 7, year 8, year 9, no, not year 9, but year 7, year 8, I was always the tallest among my friends, like the tallest and the thinnest. And sometimes I would feel like left out, and I would just feel like, hey, I'm not. Why am I so tall? Or why am I like this? And even when I look at photos of me and other friends, or class photos, or even football team photos, I'm always just thought I'm the tallest, and everyone else was a bit shorter. So at that point, I struggled. I was like, hey, why God? Why am I so tall? Like, can that change? Then it reached a stage where when I became older, being tall was actually even a better character trait according to people. Like, even the girls like the taller guys, and so.
So what are you trying to say about us short guys? No, I'm joking, but continue.
But yeah, so I learned to actually love myself, and even so, I was like, hey, I'm too dark, and people, my friends are light skin, and at that point, I just realized, you know what, this is how I was made, and I need to start appreciating and loving myself. Otherwise, if I don't love myself, who will love me?
Wow.
Yeah.
Well said, man. So I just wanted to ask you, has someone's opinion ever stopped you from saying something? Let's start with that one.
Okay. Let me talk about maybe someone's opinion stopping me from doing something, and then me kind of discrediting that. So when I was when I did my A levels in Turi. When I was in Turi is a very academic school, and I was always told that I would struggle, or I was advised against doing sport as well as like my studies. Like, and not, I was told not to focus on sport and fundamentally focus on my studies. And so even it was even funny, like even during exam times, people are studying, but I'm going for after school practice. I'm waking up at 5, 6 in the morning to go for training, and teachers, friends were all telling me, exams are coming, exams are around the corner. You're not gonna do well. You can't do both like that. You need to prioritize your studying. And but to a certain extent, I used to get scared. But then I was at a point they just said, you know what? I love sport. I love football. I love whatever. And actually, playing sport makes it easier for me to study in the sense that I can take my mind off just like the books and whatever. So, but people always like, no, you won't get good grades, you won't get into the uni you want to. I was like, you know what, it's fine. And funny thing is, when the results for our A levels came out, I got the second highest grades in the school. I got 2 A stars and an A, And the people who are advising me against playing football and studying, unfortunately, didn't get as good of grades as me. So yeah, but if I had listened to them, imagine if I had listened to them and I was just like, you know what, I would have missed out on so many opportunities, you know?
Yeah, I get what you're saying, man. For me, I feel like for so long in my life, a very good proportion of my life, I've literally let people's opinions determine what I've said or who I've become. And because I remember when I joined Strathmore University, I had just cleared in IB, and I also hadn't done that bad.
Mm.
And the thing is, Strathmore do not let people have exemptions. So what I was learning in first year and second year, I basically had learned in IB. But whenever the teachers would ask questions, I'd never raise my hands to answer. And it's not because I never knew the answer, but it was because I was scared what the 60 plus people in the room would think about me. And that's the thing about life. But how do you advise someone to get over such fears?
My advice would be to just believe in yourself and just put the work in. Because let me even give you guys a recent example. People for the initially when I started my clothing line, Setutsi in 2015. And when I initially started, people always used to tell me, "Oh, as a fashion designer in Kenya, you'll never make it. You'll never go anywhere." Like, oh, and I was always like, okay, that's what you think, but that's not gonna stop me from doing what I actually love and doing what I wanna do. And 5 years later, Setutsi is one of the biggest fashion streetwear brands in Kenya. And now imagine if I listened to those people and I was like, hey, yeah, doing fashion, that one, it's not, yeah, according to what these people say, I'll never go anywhere. I was like, nah, thanks for your opinion, but it's not going to stop me from doing what I want to do. So I'll just say, believe in yourself and, if what you think is right and, what you want to do it. Don't let anyone tell you can or can't do anything.
Yeah, talking of Strathmore last year, I remember you spoke at one of my classes, where we were invited to bring in an entrepreneur. And I think, first of all, I want to say that time when I invited you, people were like, how can you invite someone with tattoos, someone with piercings to Strathmore to speak? But anyways, we'll talk about that. But what I wanted to ask you is, in that talk, I remember you shared with us that you had to leave university in Malaysia to come back to Kenya to focus on what you wanted to do. So tell us a bit more about that.
Okay, so for me, when I finished year 13 in 2015. Then I took a gap year, which I was advised against doing, but I have no regrets. I took a gap year and I went to Malaysia for university. I went to the University of Nottingham in Malaysia. So I was there for 3 months, and the time I was there, so during my gap year, I started off my clothing line and just doing general business. So the time so I was in Malaysia from September to December. So in those 3 months, I found out that my business was really suffering, and because it was still in the early stages, it was just a year old. I still needed a lot of my own micromanagement, and now being in a different country, communicating with tailors, customers became a bit complicated. So now I made the decision to come back and do uni here, as opposed to being in Malaysia.
Yo, wow. And that must have been a very, very hard choice, especially because of what you said from Turi. Your grades are good, you're African, actually half Ghanaian, half Kenyan. So when you told your parents you want to come back and do fashion, how did that conversation go? There's so many young people out there who want to follow their dreams, whether it's in music, fashion, sports, but many of them do not get to pursue those dreams because of, first of all, what their parents would say if they had that conversation, and to make it even worse, what their grandparents would say. I can imagine telling myself, my show, I want to be a musician. She'll be like, guy, Tupac, sasa hiyo ni nini? But anyways, for people who want to follow their dreams, what advice can you give them?
Yeah, so even let me say, like from my own personal experience, even when I told my mom I want to drop out of uni, it it was actually a big fight. Like it was something we discussed for like 2 months, and she was like, no, 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 you have to get your degree. And so I was telling, because initially I just wanted to drop out and not go to school, but then now we managed to come to a compromise where I found a uni. So the University of Northampton in the UK had a campus here. So now I found that out, and I said the compromise was fine. You want me to do university? I want to continue running my business. Um, why not do uni here and continue running my business? And that made sense to her, and yeah, it actually it did make sense to everyone. So I was able to now continue school and my fashion. But now, what I would tell most young people, old people, whoever has a dream and they want to, and or a passion that they want to pursue, do what you love what you do. And in the case, you'll obviously find, especially if it's like these unorthodox careers, like as you said, Tupac music, whatever, sports. What I would advise you to do is just have a plan. Have a plan, like even a 2 5 year plan, and just look at what you like, the career you want to take. If you want to be a musician or footballer, just look at yourself now and where you could potentially be in 5 years, and just make it make sense. Whether it's your parents or whoever is against you doing it, make it make sense to them. Like just come to you have to have a sort of compromise, but make it make sense. And our parents are not bad people. Yes, African parents are strict, but our parents are also very modern nowadays, and they understand these things. If you tell your parents that you want to be whatever you want to be, and you actually have a plan that makes sense, and yeah, you believe in yourself, then I can guarantee you it may not be easy, but eventually they'll also start to believe in you. But the most important thing is believing in yourself. Because if you don't really believe in yourself, then how will anybody else believe in you?
Yeah, that's so true. I think if you don't believe in yourself, then of course no one else can believe in you. It has to start from within. So I'd like to
Yeah.
know, man, what role do you think social media plays in determining the impact of people's opinions controlling our lives, and how does that affect self-love in turn? As a matter of fact, you're one of the people who I know posts the most, man. I don't think there's anyone who still posts photos on Facebook other than you, man. So yeah, just tell us about that, man.
Don't be a hater.
Nah, you're the only one who posts photos on Facebook, man. I'm sure sometimes I even see my mom has commented on your photo.
You have to keep in touch with your old friends, young friends. But anyways, I would say social media is very, very toxic, but then at the same time, it has its benefits. And at the end of it, I would say personally, like, I never look at anyone's life on social media and be like, wow, this guy or this person is living such a great life, and I would want to have this car or that or whatever. Because at the end of the day, social media is so fake. Like, I can be posing with a car, it's not even my car. Like, don't let people's opinions on social media disturb you or trolls or whatever. Because social media is very good and very bad at the same time, also very fake. Because even like the other day, I was seeing Kim Kardashian posting a photo and her waist was looking like super thin. And then it came to my attention that this is probably Photoshop, but a lot of girls would probably think that, wow, like she's so beautiful and I would want to be like that. But she's even herself, she's not even really like that. And the problem with social media is there's trends that change weekly, daily, and you can't let those things control you and want to match those trends. So one day, people on social media are appreciating and loving thin girls. Then tomorrow they're loving thick girls. So you can't now what you say then, oh yeah, today's they love thin girls, so let me try and be thin tomorrow thick. So I would say don't let those things ever. Don't look at someone's life and be envious, because to be honest, it's probably not the reality.
Yeah, to be honest, bro, if there's one thing me I really admire about you is the fact that you literally do not care what anyone says about you. No. And I just wanted to say, yeah, like there there's a few controversy piercings you have that me and my other fellow friends constantly make fun of, as well as that tattoo of you on your hand looking like you're taking a dump. But that's a story for another day. But you're out of curiosity. I just want to know, man. Have like my comments or any other person's comments ever made you consider getting rid of those tattoos or piercings?
Okay, so these guys make fun of me for having a tongue piercing. For whatever reasons, if you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
But yeah,
PG-13, PG-13. Yeah,
But yeah,
PG-13.
you need to back yourself. Those things now, you guys can make fun or whatever, but you know what? I like my piercings. I like my tongue piercing. I like all my piercings, and like even my tattoos or whatever. And maybe I always say maybe things have a meaning. Like to me, for example, that I don't want to share with everyone, or not everyone knows. Because if you let people make fun of you and let it get to you, then you'll always be sad, And you guys, whenever you make fun of me, I always make fun of you back,
Yeah.
Which is how it should be. You shouldn't really care.
Yeah. I get what you're saying, man. Like, and that's true. I read someone saying, majority of us fail and will fail to reach our full potential because we allow people's opinions to control what we do, what we say, or what we even become. Yeah. And then even Aristotle went on to say, like, to avoid criticism, say nothing, do nothing, be nothing. And basically from that, you can pick the fact that no matter what you say, do or be, people, will always criticize you. See, like the way us guys are your boys, but we still make fun of your piercings, but it's just banter,
Yeah,
But
but
anyways,
that's facts. Because as you said, like literally, no matter what you do, no matter what you do on this earth, someone is gonna have something good and bad to say. So you can't start focusing now on all the bad things, Because even you even see like on Twitter, even like someone will donate even like $1 million to a cause. That's a very noble thing to do. But then you will see another fool somewhere telling him, "Oh, you're worth 100 million. Why are you only donating 1 million?" And you're like, what? It's his money. He's trying to do something good. So people will always have something.
It's true, man. Like, let's even think about it. Like, some people saw Robin Hood as a good guy. Some people saw him as a bad guy.
A bad guy.
But as long as what you believe you're doing is for the good, then, and as long as it makes you happy as well, I think that's the most important thing,
And even I had a quote last week when I think it was Wickham. A football team got promoted from in the UK, whatever. And one of the players said the only opinion that matters is the opinion you have of yourself. That's the only opinion that matters, the opinion that you have of yourself, because you are the one who can build up your self-esteem, you're the one who will build yourself up. So the only opinion that matters is your opinion,
Yeah, it makes sense, man. Finally, if you know this podcast, it talks about advice I'd give a younger me and or advice I'd share with an older me. So, Kwami, what advice would you give a younger you or a younger Kwami?
The advice I would give a younger me would be not to have fear into trying new things, venturing into new things, picking up new hobbies, because when you're younger, you have less responsibility. I'm not saying that actually I'm so old, but when I was younger, I had more opportunities, more time to, put into things. So I would say I would have taken up more opportunities, maybe learned a new language, just done different things. Not that I would not have done anything I've done, but just do maybe different things. I would also I would have invested my money a bit wiser, as opposed to just like having fun and whatever, which having fun isn't bad, but I would have invested it wiser so that maybe when I'm a bit older, it has greater returns and
more value.
Yeah.
Anyways, and what advice would you give an older you?
Advice I would give an older me is don't be scared to try different, just don't be scared to try even different business ventures, and just don't be scared, or don't shy away from opportunity, and just keep being a good person with a good heart, caring, loving, and just keep doing unto others what you would like done to yourself, because I feel like that's how I live my life now. And that's something I don't ever want to change. I don't ever want to become a bad to people or whatever. So just keep being a darling.
You're talking. Stephen Bartlett said, if you imagine your life as a casino, where in 10 minutes time you have to give back all your chips back, why on earth would you play it so safe? And you care so much what people think when you're handing back all your chips to the casino regardless. Therefore, if you knew you are going to die, would you let what people think about you affect you? So do you think you live by that?
Yeah. So okay. What was the last thing you said?
Okay,
If I knew?
basically what Stephen Bartlett was trying to say, yeah. You know the way you can go casino,
Yeah.
yeah? And
Uh-huh.
you knew that at the end of the day you have to cash in your chips.
Yeah, you're not gonna go
Whether
back home with or
you
whatever.
can't go, you can't go
Mm.
back with it, yeah. You see, of course you wouldn't play safe, yeah.
Yeah.
So in life, why do we keep on, playing safe and at the end of the day we're going to die?
Yeah, that's true, and yeah, that's actually how I live my life. Like just live your life as if it was going to end tomorrow. And just do as much as you can, be as good to as many people as you can, love yourself as much as you can, and care about other people's opinions as what is it least as little as you can. Because you see, at the end of the day, when you die, everyone is wanna show you love, and everyone will be like, oh, he was good, he was that, but when you were alive, they weren't
They didn't
showing you
want to
any
tell
love
you
or
the same
anything.
thing.
The same thing, yeah. So you just live your life, do you, and yeah, I feel like everybody has some bit of greatness, inside them, and just try and fulfill that greatness.
Yeah. So, to end this podcast, I'm gonna say, we're all gonna die in the end. So don't let people's opinions control your life. Yeah. The regrets you live with if you didn't become the person you knew you could be, or start the business you always wanted to start, or whatever it is you always wanted to do, will always be more painful than people's opinions. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yo, Kwami Kwams, thank you so much for being a guest and sharing your wisdom.
Always.
I don't know if you have one last thing to tell the audience.
I would say even something my mom always used to tell me, you'd better off trying and failing than not trying and giving up because you're scared, or you're scared of failure or what people will think you will fail. So yeah. Wise
Thank you.
one from Auntie Penina.
Shout out to your moms, by the way. Anyways, thank you all of you. God bless you. And just to kick it is a blessing.
Bado, I'm still dipping double. Right. Double. It's the dream chaser. Okay. Accumulate the paper. Could flex, I flex for hater. Conga, I do that later. My mom told me do me. Carrots, I need cheese. Achille open doors. Achille is my key. Who is the Iba Kitu? You see fakes and I see through. You get pesa, yeah, me too. Lights in my room blue. Mimi pimp, I pimp my room. Onga, I pimp your chick too. Oh boy, you look like crystals. Police see that's an issue. Baby, what you telling me? See me, I'm with the gang, lazima hustle. Yeah. Now Bado demons chasing me. Bado, I'm still dipping double.